Hi guys, this is Pestily and welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video. In this video, I'm covering a complete overview of every single skill in Escape from Tarkov, covering from what they do, how they level, and if they are required for any task or hideout upgrade. I'm going to go into a lot of detail on some, but if you want to know a lot more detail, I'm going to do a massive shout out right after we get right into it. So without further ado, let's crack straight into it. So I'm going to give you a very decent overview and you'll be able to learn and know everything about all the tasks in a general aspect and format. However, if you want to know a lot of the finer details, I can't recommend enough going to check out Dashing.'s YouTube content. I had a big conversation before this video with him to ensure I was right on point with everything. He goes to like literally hundreds of hours on each skill to actually figure out the exact data for all of them and how they level. And he goes into very detailed videos. So make sure you go give him a love. It'll be right at the very top of my description down below. And definitely go give him a follow. I couldn't have made this video as detailed and correct without the assistance from him. So go and do that now. So now with that out of the way, timeline links down below for specific skills if you're after that. Now, before we go any further, I really need to show you some of the other stuff that's going to help you level up your skills faster, because it's going to make a big difference in how you level. And this is why, or one of the major reasons why you should be leveling up your hideout as early as you can, because it's going to make a big difference in your ability to level up your skills. So starting off the library over here. Now, the hideout management skill boosts the actual perks of the hideout. So my practical skill goes 42.9%. And I'm fairly confident once I have the max hideout management skill, this will be 45% increase to practical skills. Now, all skills have a different category. The practical skills I'll show you in a minute. And the other one is the air filtering unit, which my physical skills get a bonus 57.2%, which will cap at 60% if I'm not mistaken, when I get to max level hideout management. Now, I'll go to the skills right here, and you can see under this bit where the physical skills are. As you can see, with the 60% bonus, I've actually got 3 of them already maxed, or close to 60% bonus. And then you got the practical skills here, which also includes the ones down the bottom. So that gives you an overview of the perks from the hideout. And there is misconceptions of how it works. It increases the maximum amount of points before the complete diminishing return effect. So the way skills are leveled, as you level them up in a raid, they will lose the speed in which they are leveled, and then they'll start getting into a diminishing return factor. And then once it's like in the diminishing return factor, if you don't level that skill at all for 5 minutes, it then resets and it goes back to 100%. So initially it starts at 129%, but it will reset back to 100%. So you can level it up. So say you were to, let's say, run overweight, and then you got to the diminishing return point, and then you, for some reason, went underweight, you dropped your backpack and you're no longer overweight. And then for 5 minutes, you did not go back overweight. You didn't throw a grenade or melee anyone. After 5 minutes, once you did go back to being overweight, you could level your strength at 100% again until it goes back to the diminishing return points that you were at initially. So hopefully I explained that well enough, but that's how that works. And so now we should really get into the skills, because there's a few to go through and I want to try and give you as much information as quickly as possible. So starting off with the endurance skill. Now, this one is leveled by running or walking underweight, and you'll get to your diminishing returns very quickly. So don't stress too much about getting this one leveled in any specific way. Just by playing the game normally, you'll level this one quite quickly. By leveling up this skill, you'll have increased stamina, you'll be able to hold your breath longer, and you'll have less stamina drain by jumping. At max level, which is level 51, which is the max level for any skill, you'll have 150% increased stamina, and also it increases your hand endurance, which means you can like ADS longer. Now, next up, we have the strength skill. Now, this one is leveled by running overweight or walking overweight. Now, overweight is when your weight goes to the yellow in the weight section of, like, say you're 47 out of 77 kilograms. Once you get to that yellow factor, that's when you'll be overweight. You can level this by deliberately making yourself overweight and going into a raid. But I'm sure there's a lot of guides out there telling you that you should be leveling this as fast as you can, as early as you can. You want the secret in leveling this one as fast as possible. Level you just by playing the game normally until you have max endurance. Once you have max endurance, then decide to put some focus into the strength skill. You'll be leveling them up passively just by playing the game normally. You'll probably get endurance maybe in about 500 raids. You'll have max level endurance, and then you can start putting a little bit more focus into strength by taking in shotgun shells or sash drives in your container. and you'll level up your strength skill that way if you wanted to speed level it. However, there's no real necessity to speed level them the strength over the endurance skill initially. Just get the endurance skill max. Trust me, it's worth it doing it that way. As for the strength skill, it increases your jump height by 30% at max level, your carry weight by 30% at max level, melee strike power, the movement speed and sprint speed by 30%. Now, this is the most OP thing in the game. I'm going to make a video talking about the strength and endurance skill and some of these skills in general at a later date. I actually feel like they're a little bit broken at the moment, and I'm going to show you plenty of examples why. And yeah, I don't want to go into that right now. Let's just talk about how these level and what they do. So throw distance on your grenades and the less stamina drain whilst ADS. There's two other elite perks, which is the weight of guns on your back and sling is not counted. That is incorrect. I'll show you very quickly right now on my actual character. I'm at 8.6 kilograms and it has nothing to do with my gun. It's how much you weigh on this side here is counted. So if I was to take off my kappa container, it's now down to 3.1. You know, if I was to delete the backpack, it goes down. Same with this one. But anything on the left-hand side is not counted. So I don't know if that's a bug at the moment. That is definitely how it's working. So anything that's on your left-hand side of your body, so on your actually equipped, not in your backpack, is not counted. And I think that probably needs to change as well, because I can literally take out the entire... there's no restriction to being overweight for me. It's impossible for me to get to the complete overweight now that I have max level strength. And also the chance to deal a critical melee damage hit. I don't believe I've been able to crit someone yet. I haven't done enough testing with it to confirm it, and neither has Dashing Dot. And he said he's tested this quite a bit. However, we'll have to wait and see. It might be we're just really unlucky, but the 0.5 makes me feel like it should be a 50% chance. I don't know yet. Now, finally, with the strength skill, you do need to have it level 3 for one of the hideout upgrades. You shouldn't have any issues getting that sorted. Just like the endurance skill, these ones level up really quickly. I've done some testing as well. If you were to have max level endurance and then you were overweight with the filter in and you ran a full stamina bar, you go up about 12 skill points on a full stamina bar, and it goes up to a total of about 17 skill points for doing 4 full sprints whilst overweight with your endurance at max level. So it's worth putting that filter in for starters 100% of the time that you're playing. And on top of that, the endurance skill and strength skill are leveling really quickly right now. So take advantage of it while you can, and it's definitely very strong. Now, moving over to the vitality skill, this skill is leveled up by taking damage, and it reduces the chance of bleeding and also the chance of dying by losing a limb. That doesn't play into account anymore, but the chance of bleeding has been reduced, or you have a reduced chance of bleeding. And with the taking damage from vitality, the whole thing behind this one is if you are on painkillers, your vitality skill will level up faster because it consumes all the points from the damage. However, if you're not on painkillers when you take the damage, I'm not sure if it's exactly half, but half of the points will be going to the stress resistance skill, and then the other half will go vitality. So if you were to pre-med all the time, your vitality skill will level faster. If you don't pre-med, then your vitality skill will level equally with your stress resistance as you take damage, in theory. So I'm very briefly touching on the stress resistance skill there, but you do need to have level 5 vitality for the quest Survivalist Path Combat Medic. So you do need to pay a little bit of attention in leveling this one up. If you don't take a lot of damage, if you don't die a lot, you might take a little bit longer to level this one. And if you can leave a bleed on, for example, and just let it keep ticking over. But generally, that's just taking damage. I wouldn't do that personally unless you're really desperate. And then obviously there's other methods that you can go to cheese your damage taken if you really need to level it. Next up, we have the health skill. Now, this one is very simple to level. It is leveled by your endurance, strength, and vitality skills leveling. And it's just that plain and simple. That's why mine is max, because strength and endurance are already at max level. You will decrease the chance of fractures by 60%, decreases energy consumed and water consumed by 30%. And then the max level perk is damage absorption, which does absolutely nothing. So there's no perk for that. But this dehydration rate and energy consumption rate used to also be on the metabolism skill. It's not anymore. So health skill is actually quite good for that. And then being able to reduce the chance of getting a fracture is quite nice. Now, with the health skill, there are 2 quests that require you to have level 4 health and level 10 health, being Healthcare Privacy Part 4 for level 4 health. And when you get that quest, you also get an apple a day keeps the doctor away, which will give you 2 levels in health. Now, that's 2 complete levels, not 200 skill points. So take into account if you are struggling to get level 10 for the quest athlete, wait till you have level 8 health skill before you cash in that quest, and then you'll jump straight to level 10. However, with the increased rate in which you level up endurance and strength right now, this should not be a problem at all. Now, stress resistance, I did touch on it before. It is leveled by taking damage whilst not on painkillers. So if you are trying to get the stress resistance skill leveled for the quest, then you do need to make sure you stop pre-medding, and that will help speed up the rate in which you get stress resistance leveled. It decreases the chance of getting pain and shock, and also the tremor oscillations. So which is the red glow around the outside of your screen when you're taking a lot of damage, for example. Now, with the stress resistance skill, you do have to get level 6 in stress resistance to hand in the quest to Flint. To take this into account when leveling up your stress resistance. Now for metabolism. Now this one is leveled up by eating and drinking that will replenish your hydration or energy when in a raid. So if you do this outside a raid, it won't count. If you're doing inside a raid, it will. And on top of that, you no longer get reduced like consuming rate of hydration and energy whilst leveling this skill. Instead, it enhances the food and drink positive effects, and also it reduces the time of all negative effects from other stimulants, food, and water. And that's going to become very important very shortly. With the metabolism skill, you do need to get level 3 metabolism for the nutrition hideout upgrade. So make sure you do eat and drink any chance you can inside the raid to help get that up passively, instead of having to try and speed level it later on when you're trying to upgrade that hideout. Next up, we have the immunity skill. Now, this is actually taken into effect now that cultists are into the game, and it is quite simply leveled up by the end of the negative effects from either a painkiller or food and drink. So the easiest way to level this one up is to drink a NRG drink, not the Red Bull one, the hot rod, but the NRG one. You consume that NRG drink, and then after 5 minutes, you will get around about, I think it's 1.6 skill points. So if you wanted to, you could go into a raid, pop that straight away 5 minutes later, or it'll be faster by the metabolism skill and the immunity skill. But 5 minutes later at level 0 on both of those, you will get 1.6 skill points. And if you were to do that for 2,900 raids, you would have this at max level. Now, what does it actually do? It reduces the negative effects of stimulants, food, and drink. It decreases the amount of effects from the poison that the cultists do. And it also increases the amount of time that painkillers are active on you as you level it up. So it's actually a pretty cool skill to level. But the big one about this skill, if you were to get it to max level, is you have a chance to have immunity to the negative effects of painkillers and food and drink. So you could pop your painkillers and there'd be no negative effects. Same with stims and stuff like that. So big, cool little skill there. But it will take you quite a while to max level it unless you take in an energy drink to every single raid you do. So if you do go to the point where you do that, that'd be kind of interesting to see. And yeah. Now the perception skill, this one's very straightforward. As you level it up, you will be able to hear further. So at max level, I think it's about 30 to 40%. And then as you level it up, there's that white dot in the center of the screen. As you move towards loot on your screen, a white dot will appear to say that there's an item there. Now, as you get to max level, it doesn't matter where you're looking. If you're close to the item, a white dot will appear in the middle of the screen. That's what the elite bonus perk is. Perception is leveled quite easily just by looting items. So the more you loot, the higher this level will go, and you'll be able to hear further and be able to detect loot. So it's a pretty straightforward skill. You'll just level this one up passively and it'll get up pretty quick. Now the intellect skill, I don't believe that's actually doing anything at the moment, but it's meant to increase your examination speed. So when you press your mouse wheel down on an item, and increases the repair quality of weapons. I don't believe it's doing anything right now, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe in the future we'll be able to know more. However, it is leveled by examining items apparently. So yeah, like I said, we'll have to wait and see with that one. Now the attention skill. Now this one is all about how quickly you can loot items. So the higher level attention you have, the faster you'll be able to loot stuff. Where it says increases chance to find a better loot. Now that is generally speaking, it's not right. It's the way it works is if you go to a safe, for example, there's like 3 stacks of cash and a Bitcoin. It will show you the Bitcoin before the cash. That's what it means by the better loot. It doesn't, all the loot is determined when you first get into a raid. Now, the way attention is leveled is by searching containers or backpacks that are on the ground. Now, if you're searching rigs, backpacks, or pockets on a player, it will give you a little bit of points, but not many. If you actually wanted to level your attention skill faster, throw the backpack on the ground and then search from there, and you'll actually get more points than having it on the player. Now, the charisma skill is actually leveled by looting of items from either a container or player. onto your person. They can be loose on the ground. So you actually need to loot any item onto you, and you only get, or you get more points for the first item than any subsequential item of the same type. So for example, if you were to loot a cash register, you'd get the maximum amount of points for the first lot of cash, and then everything else stuff that would have a massive diminishing return. So say there's 3 of the exact same AK, you're only going to really get a lot of points off the first AK. Now, with the charisma skill, it is required for a quest, and you'll need to do a fair bit of looting to get it to the level required, which is level 10, and that's for charisma brings success. You don't need to level this one up for the capper container though. So it'll happen over time. The benefits here is where it's saying decreases merchants' cash prices and stuff. That doesn't count. It doesn't do anything. Just ignore it and leave it at that. Now, the memory skill, this one's really straightforward. So the memory skill is leveled by any of the mental category skills. So any of the perception, attention, intellect, and charisma will level up your memory skill. And so this one will just happen over time. Now, there is no rate in which you forget items. That's been removed from the game completely. So don't even worry about the actual perks that the memory skill gives you. But you do need to level up the memory skill for a hideout upgrade, being the library level 8. It's also required for signal part 4, but by that stage, you should really have memory already leveled up to level 4. Now, the next group of skills I'm going to talk about are all linked together. So it's the assault rifles, the pistols, the DMRs, the shotguns, the submachine guns, the sniper rifles, and the melee skill are all leveled by either hitting targets, like hitting the actual scavs or PMCs, or also reloading, which obviously you can't reload your melee weapon. Now, each of these give you an increased reload speed, an increased weapon switching speed, and reduces the recoil. So these are actually quite powerful, particularly say when you get say assault rifles to max level with the recoil control skill stacked up, you end up shooting like a laser beam with some of the guns. They have nerfed this quite considerably on the previous wipe, so it's not going to have as big of an effect as it used to, but it's still something that's going to level passively as you use it. So shooting enemies, so when you take a shot at them, you hit them, that levels up the skill. The notable one is the sniper skill, which mine's at level 10 currently, and that is leveled up obviously by hitting targets. If you really want to level up your sniper skill faster, aim for the legs and just shoot the same scav like 4 or 5 times in the legs, and you'll have pretty much the diminishing returns from that right there. Now, the one I need to actually point out again over this one as well is the throwable skill. This one is not linked to all the melee and underbarrel grenade, all these other ones up here. The throwable skill is literally leveled by throwing grenades, and it increases the throw strength, which is how far you can throw stuff, and also reduces the amount of energy required by throwing grenades, or for throwing grenades. Now, if you were to get throwables to max level, which I think one wipe I got it to about 27 or 30, and I threw a lot of grenades. If you were to get it to max level, it would have no energy cost to be able to throw it. And if you were fatigued, so out of stamina, when you went to throw a grenade, there would be no like fatigue penalty to the grenade throw, which where you do like this half-ass throw, it just lands in front of you. All right, so moving on to the recoil control skill. Now, as you level this one up, it reduces the amount of recoil you have, and it's leveled up very simply by shooting boards. The more boards you shoot, the faster this will level up. So if you're shooting full auto primarily, you'll level this one up a lot faster. And there is one other caveat to it. Particular guns have better rates in which they level this. Now, I know the video is quite old, but I did a video a long time ago, and I think I was using an AK. I think Deadly Slot did one as well. He was using like an AKS-74U, and depends on which gun you use is how many points you get per bullet. And I remember seeing a video at some point, this was a long time ago, and someone worked out that if you would go into a raid and just shoot off a Makarov and just drop the mag and the Makarov and just do that every raid, you could like cap this out really quickly. But trust me, you just want to play the game normally, and this one will level up over time. If you shoot a lot, you'll have less recoil. Don't try and do all the cheese methods. It's not really worth it, but if you really want to, feel free. Just thought I'd let you know that. Now, there is no specific elite perk for the recoil control skill. At least I don't believe so. In the last wipe, it used to be 30%. I actually believe it's probably going to be like 25% now, or maybe less. So I don't think I'll get max level recoil control this wipe, but it's one of those skills that you just got to level up over time anyway. Next up, we have aim drills, and this skill is leveled up by shooting someone after you ADS within, I think it's 2 seconds. It's somewhere between 1 and 2 seconds. So you aim down your sight, you shoot, and you hit the target. You do have to hit the target. And this will level up your aim drills. And as you level it up, it'll just reduce the amount of noise it takes to ADS, and also increase the speed in which you ADS. So It's one of those skills you can't really cheese or do anything like that, but you will level up over time. Now, I'd be very surprised if someone does get this to max level, but it's meant to have like effects on how quickly or how much reduced tremors and movements you have once ADSing. So we'll have to wait and see, but I don't think anyone's really going to max this one out anytime soon, unless we have a really long wipe. Next up, surgery skill. This one's pretty straightforward. You use a CMS or one of the surgical kits to heal a blacked out limb, and it will level up your surgical skill. If you have a fracture and use the surgical kit for doing the heal of the fracture, you won't get any points for that. And ultimately, from Dashing Dot, pretty much he says you want to do 8 surgeries per raid. Will give you the ultimate like points per raid if you wanted to level this as quickly as possible. But that's up to you if you want to do that. But personally, one of the ones you're just going to level up over time, and the perks are the speed in which you do the surgery, and also reduces the amount of like reduced health that it gives you from the surgery itself. So the penalty from actually conducting the surgery, so that gets reduced. Next up, we have covert movement, and now for this skill, it is leveled up by being all sneaky breaky like. So there's down the bottom left hand corner of your screen when you're moving, there's like a little speaker, and it has like little sound waves coming out of it. If there's no sound waves at all, covert movement is leveled up. Now this is the easiest way to figure out if someone is a Chad or a rat. So go to your overall screen right now, go to your skills, go down to covert movement, find out what level you are in covert movement, and then post that down in the comments. All right, I can guarantee you there's going to be someone out there who's got like level 30 or 40 covert movement right now. All right, that is a rat. All right, and then the Chad is someone who has like high level endurance and strength for sprinting around so much, or all overweight. So that's pretty much how it's leveled. So if you want to level this one up faster, just at some point in your raid, just reduce your movement speed by scrolling down your mouse wheel or crouching and pressing caps lock, and then creeping around, and that creeping around levels up your covert movement skill. Now, what does covert movement skill do? It actually makes you quieter as you move around on each type of the surfaces, and also increases the speed in which you can be moving at a quiet rate. So it's one of those skills that it actually is really strong. It's really annoying to level. Unless you want to play that slow and cheeky breaky playstyle, say like someone like Clean, he's probably got a really high covert movement level. Doesn't mean he's a rat. It just means he plays a lot more slow and methodical. That's perfectly fine. And it's actually it's a really good skill to level. So take it for what it is. Next up, we have this search skill. Now you do need to get this to level 9 for a quest called Scavenger. And it's very straightforward how this one levels. So as you search a body or a container, you level up the search skill on the completion of the search. So like I said, when the searching wheel spins and you finally finish searching everything, you'll level up the search skill. The more containers you search to completion, the faster that you'll level this one up. So it's one of the ones that's going to happen passively as you play the game. But just take into account that you probably want to try and search as many things as you can when you get the opportunity. Filing cabinets, backpacks, bodies, everything. And it will really help out in the speed in which you level up the skill. At max level, you can search 2 things at once. So you got to a body, you can search their backpack and their rig at the same time, or their rig and their pockets, or their pockets and their backpack. Up to you. So you can actually search 2 things at once. Really cool skill to have at max level. Now we've got mag drills. For this skill, I did a little test the other day. I unloaded and loaded a 50 round mag at the start of a raid, and I did that over a couple of raids to see how much my mag drills leveled up. And it worked out to be 0.1 of a skill point per raid. And so if you do the math, it's about 46,000 raids to max this skill out. So at the moment, it's absolutely trash. Don't even try and level it. Just let it happen over time. At the speed, as you level this one up over time, you will be able to unload and load mags faster. And eventually, you'll get to the point where you can actually see how many rounds are in a mag by doing the check mag. But at the moment, it's not really going to level up very quickly. You can also level this skill up by checking the chamber if the round inside the chamber is unknown, and also checking a mag if the status of the mag is unknown, like how full the mag is. So you can level this up in multiple ways, but it goes super slow. I'm hoping in the future they'll speed this up. There was a patch and it did say there was error with the mag drills reversing in its skill points at the end of raid or something. So maybe they've made some fixes to it, but right now this one levels extremely slow. Now for the last 2 skills being the crafting skills. So the crafting skill has been bugged for quite a little while now, but hopefully it has been fixed. I'm at level 40. I'm trying to push it all the way up to level 51, and I'll explain why. So the crafting skill is currently leveled by crafting a unique item. So if you say craft an air filter this time and the next time you do a scav junk box, it'll give you 2.5 skill points per craft on the completion of the craft. As well as whilst it's crafting, every hour you'll get 1 skill point in crafting. So, you know, a 19-hour craft gives you 19 skill points. And so what you should do is when you go to bed, you want to do long crafts, and when you're awake and you can switch it up all the time, do all the shorter ones as long as you can be there. So if you got like a work from home job, have it up on your other monitor and keep switching the crafts over the day, you'll level this up in no time. As you level it up, you'll be able to craft stuff faster. And at max level, you can do 2 crafts at the same time on the same like station inside the hideout, which is a big plus. You can actually make some serious cash in the hideout. And I'm going to explain that in another video if I haven't already made that video. Last but not least, we have the Hideout Management skill. Now, the Hideout Management skill increases the effects of stuff within the hideout. So I've got 43% bonus. At max level, it will be 51. I think it stops at 50, but the skill goes to 51. And so stuff like your air filter and your library is going to help level your skills faster by having this at max level. So it's a massive thing you should be trying to get earlier, because those 2 things will make all these other skills level up faster. So why wouldn't you want that done? Now, coming down here, it also reduces the rate in which the fuel, air, and water filters are consumed. That's the bonus in itself. It means your air filters are going to last longer, your fuel's going to last longer, which means you don't have to buy as many of them to make more money whilst in the hideout. Now, I've been told that you do get 1 skill point in hideout management for every craft that you complete. But I've done some testing and I can't seem to get that to replicate. But like I said, there are a few bugs with the crafting skill. And maybe that's pushing over to the hideout skill or hideout management skill at the same time. But it's there. If it does go back into effect, then that will be there. And on top of that, every single upgrade you do in the hideout will give you 20 skill points in hideout management. So if you get a brand new hideout, you have unlimited money and you've got max level and you can do everything straight away, you will get 820 skill points in the hideout for upgrading the entire hideout, which would be equal to about level 12 and a half. So it's already a massive boost in just doing the hideout right there. And if I haven't convinced you by now to level up the hideout and get all this stuff going, then I don't know. There's probably nothing that's going to be able to do that to you. So just take that into account, how the hideout management skill works. Now, at max level hideout management, you also have the elite perk, which gives you the ability to add 2 more fuel containers. You'll have 2 more slots for water filters, 2 more for air filters, and then also you'll be able to store 5 Bitcoins instead of 3 Bitcoins in the Bitcoin farm. So it means you can go longer without claiming your Bitcoins. You can have fuel in there longer, air filters in there more, which will last longer. And it just works better in all ways. So this is another reason why I'm maxing this out, because I actually want to make further videos on particular elite skills and why they're so good or why they're so OP. It's one of the future videos I'm going to be working on. So if you enjoyed this video, stay tuned for that one, because I'm definitely going to be butchering some of these skills and showing them how broken you can actually make some of this stuff. And I'm not trying to do it in a malicious way. I just want to make it like people aware of how broken some of these skills can be. And that's the video I'm going to be working on probably in a week or 2 time. All right, guys. So I have been talking for quite a while here. There was a lot of information to talk about, a lot of things to cover, and hopefully you guys have learned something from this. There is a lot of skills in the game, and they are really cool how it works in Escape from Tarkov. And hopefully you guys have actually learned something that's going to be beneficial to your playstyle and make you enjoy the game somewhat more. Another big shout out to Dashing Dot. Go down right now, please. Go give him a follow over on his YouTube channel. Also have a link down there to his Twitch channel, which he doesn't stream as much anymore, but he definitely does put out YouTube content. And these videos take him hundreds of hours to make sometimes because of all the research that goes into them. And so I thought it wouldn't be right to not, or at least talk to him about these skills before I make this video, because I wanted to give you the most up-to-date, correct information in trying to help you guys enjoy this game and have the knowledge that is giving you the power to be successful in Escape from Tarkov. So a lot of time and effort has gone into this video, so please do like and comment for the YouTube algorithm. Share it with your friends if they're new to Tarkov and they're trying to learn more about the skills and they want to know more about Escape from Tarkov. Once again, please go down below, give Dashing Dot a sub on his YouTube channel. Sub and notification bell if you're interested for my Twitch channel, for my YouTube channel. We try and push up to that 500,000 mark, and then we're going to be pushing for the stars and the moon, getting to the 1 million. And yeah, but besides that, I do stream on Twitch every day of the week. As this video goes out, I'm actually going on a very small vacation with my wife because we want to take some time to see some family. And yeah, but I'll be back very soon. So if you haven't given me a follow on my Twitch channel, please consider giving me a follow over there. and we can talk about this when I get back. But besides that, guys, lastly, I'll see you next time.